The Friday the 13th franchise has no doubt provided us with some of the most beautiful women in horror, and today we're here to salute the best of the best in no particular order.
Freaking A! Where'd you get that?
But I know what you're thinking. This isn't going to be some perverted, slack-jawed drool fest. We're here to celebrate these survivors and victims in all their glory, to champion and appreciate their victories over that big, smelly monster truck of a murderer, or in some cases, their horrific demise at his hands. These are the hottest women in the Friday the 13th franchise. Starting with Pamela Voorhees herself. Just kidding.
Lady, you're scaring us.
We just wanted to piss Jason off. Let's start with Brenda, played by Lorie Bartram in Friday the 13th. Brenda was hired by creepy Steve Christie to help out at Camp Blood.
You wanna leave?
She was a light reader with good hygiene, though I will say she had terrible taste in lingerie, unless you're into trying to hook up with the Quaker Oats guy. But nobody's perfect. Brenda takes the cake over the other Crystal Lake campers, in part because she's not your everyday Friday the 13th blonde bombshell in short shorts. She has the unique personality and overall look that helps her stand out. But most importantly, she's a blasty blast to hang out with. She takes numbnuts Ned Rubenstein's hijinks in stride, and instead of whining like that baby back Shelley in Friday the 13th Part 3 when she's left as the third wheel, she turns boredom into mild nudity by recommending a game of strip Monopoly. Unfortunately, just as things were getting interesting with Alice, Bill, and the Milton Bros, she remembers she left the windows open in her cabin. Later, she'll rush out into a raging storm to try and help what she perceives as a young boy asking for help outside. It's no young boy, Brenda. It's that bitch Pamela. Beautiful Brenda is killed off screen and later thrown through a window as a jump scare. She deserved better. Next up, Megan, played by Jennifer Cook in Jason Lives. This lady has a gleam in her eye unlike anything I've ever witnessed. She knows what she wants and...
Psycho hose piece.
But not in a Stacy from Wayne's World kind of way, more like in a powerful way, you know? I think. Anyway, her own father's worst nightmare, Megan is an absolute thrill seeker. She can't even sit in a chair without putting herself in some kind of peril. She's not the kind of girl you hold on to long, but the kind you probably remember for the rest of your life, for better or worse. For God's sake, all it took was seeing Tommy behind bars and her dad telling her he was dangerous for her to become attracted to him. Which, to be fair, makes her not the smartest cookie in the Chips Ahoy package. I mean, for all she knew, he was in there for torturing animals or smuggling baby oil. Call it just woman's intuition, I guess, that she just knew Tommy was a good dude. Either way, she's a total badass who's a really good driver, especially when taking scenic routes through magical forests.
That's what I want.
Most importantly, she goes to the wall for the people she cares about, even if she just met them and is a little bit of a stage 9 clinger about it.
'Cause I'd find you.
Megan was never killed in the franchise, and her powers of hotness literally propelled her to murder the shit out of Jason Voorhees herself. Megan, we salute you.
Showing. Okay.
Next up, Bree from Friday the 13th, 2009. Now I know what you're thinking. Hey, that girl's a homewrecker who stole Trent from our leading lady. To be fair, and I would never side with that unfathomable fucking douchebag that is the Trentster in a million years, but to be fair, his girlfriend did leave him there, on the back of that supernatural guy's motorcycle, no less. Yes, they were searching for his alleged missing sister, but you don't just hop on a hot stranger's motorcycle and ride off into the woods. Now, I'm sure they weren't doing what Trent was thinking they were doing.
Fucking all over the woods?
But still. Anyway, she's nice enough to give that entire cabin something to do and look at other than Trent showing off his Abercrombie and Dick wardrobe. She's a lovely dancer and kind of even maybe seemed like she was going to give Chewie a shot here, had he not spazzed out and broken Trent's family heirloom.
This is a family heirloom!
And as you will all notice here, more so than anything else happening in this scene, she's interested in cinematography, which is like super cool. And anyway, it is not because of what Trent said about her.
Your tits are stupendous.
I swear.
So juicy, dude.
That's someone's daughter. Honestly, that scene is graphic. So graphic that we can't show it, so you're stuck looking at this face. Also so graphic that producer Michael Bay actually walked out of his own screening for the movie because he was upset at the amount of nudity in the film. That's right, the guy who navel-gazed Megan Fox's belly button for 15 straight minutes in the Transformer film was actually offended by Trent's titty competition.
You got perfect nipple placement.
Extra points for fun-loving Bree here, because even though she has terrible taste in men, what women in the Friday the 13th franchise don't, except for this lady. Her death was a nice hat tip to Silent Night, Deadly Night.
Connors!
Aw, she's even cute when she dies. That was weird to say. Next up, we have Amanda from Friday the 13th, 2009. It's not all about screen time when it comes to the loveliest ladies to ever step foot on Crystal Lake. It's about what they do with the time that counts.
It's not who I am underneath, but what I do.
And Amanda did a lot. Like, a lot. Not only was she one of the prettiest princesses Jason has ever laid his eyes on, but she turned out to be one of the most brutal and innovative kills of his entire career. All before the title drop. Don't ask me how Rookie of the Year lookalike Richie scored such a fun girlfriend, or how safe it is to have that much body oil so close to an open flame. It doesn't matter. All I know is that these two seem to have fun together. Shout out to Wade, by the way, for being a good dude and knowing when to go sing Sister Christian in the woods alone so that these two can get down to memorizing their Bible verses in the tent. Next, we have Terry McCarthy, played by Kirsten Baker from Friday the 13th Part 2. Terry was a lovely clothing challenge camp counselor in training at the Packanack Lodge in Friday the 13th Part 2. Not much is known about her past other than her love for her dog Muffin. Hell, we don't even know how she died, thanks to the fact that the camera guy just cuts away on a freeze frame of her O-face. Not that kind of O-face, but the kind of, oh shit, that's Jason Voorhees and I'm about to die kind of O-face. She politely but firmly denies Scott Chaney's advances throughout the film, either on account of him being almost as pretty as she was, or the fact that he had the game of a third grader. Terry McCarthy will be known for bold fashion choices, some of which were later adopted by football player Ezekiel Elliott, as well as her fearless penchant for swimming butt naked alone in the middle of the night. She was taken from us too soon. Much too soon. Next we have Pam Roberts, played by Melanie Kinnaman from A New Beginning. Pam was a kind-hearted woman who dealt with troubled youths like the Blue Power Ranger and angry Philip Rivers with a full heart. She was kind, strong, and patient. Well, kind of patient.
It's me! What is it? What is it?
Despite having a challenging yet rewarding career.
She's my girlfriend.
And we hope Reggie the Reckless doesn't mind us saying it, but she was also gorgeous. Most impressively, however, she took on Jason Voorhees with a chainsaw and won. Well, kinda. She took on a guy named Roy, full of grief-stricken super strength, and won, but she knew her way around a chainsaw and navigated the very wet and dangerous paths at Crystal Lake like a seasoned pro. Next up, we have Tina Shepard, played by the late Lar Park Lincoln in The New Blood. Tina may be the strongest and most resilient of all the Friday the 13th final girls, and may be the most powerful final girl ever. Despite accidentally murdering her father for placing hands on her mother as a young child, she navigates bitchy teenagers, an easily influenced mother, and a doctor who might be even more of a prick than Jason. Not to mention full-on supernatural, holy shit, that guy's gotten even scarier since the last movie, Jason Voorhees. She's a literal fire starter with a good head on her shoulders, and I like to think her character lived a happy life after all this movie put her through. She put an absolute beatdown on Jason Voorhees, the likes of which we will probably never see again. She would have made an excellent addition to the X-Men. Next up, Tina McCarthy, played by Debbie Sue Voorhees in A New Beginning. Now, we don't know exactly why our gifted Tina was a patient at the Pinehurst Youth Development Center alongside these chocolate-loving problem children, and she wasn't there for a long time. But by God, she was there for a good time. She and her boyfriend kept riling up the locals by banging in places they shouldn't, and no, we're not talking about the backseat of a Volkswagen, but rather the nature Crystal Lake provided them. Ever the empath, she feels bad for her boyfriend for getting the literal shit beaten out of him by a spazzed-out Tommy Jarvis, and agrees to once again bang in the woods. She's very vocal in her appreciation of her lover, and it's no wonder the two are often caught. Even Grizzly Adams over here gets a perverted peek at the action before Jason dispatches maybe the most pointless Friday the 13th character of all time. Though beautiful, Tina is unfortunately not long for this world, much like her boyfriend's not long in the sack. I mean, damn, that dude has clearly not heard about the think about baseball trick. Anyway, Tina gets an unfair amount of her face removed by some lawn equipment quite quickly, but we appreciate her contribution to the franchise always. Next, we have Lorie, played by Monica Keena from Freddy vs. Jason. Our absolutely gorgeous final girl of Freddy vs. Jason has the rare and unlucky distinction of being the only one to face not only Jason, but Freddy Krueger as well. Thankfully, the two ended up more interested in each other, and she was able to survive the ordeal. Not that she had the greatest plan going into the fray,
Freddy died by fire, Jason by water. How can we use that?
but she still managed to fight, scratch, and claw her way through crappy friendships, even crappier dating options, and this dude that for some reason keeps smiling during really awkward moments. She manages to fend off Witch Freddy in maybe his most terrifying form ever, and ends up decapitating that crispy-faced fucker while even dropping her own one-liner in the process.
Welcome to my world, bitch!
It's debatable who truly won that battle between Freddy and Jason on that fateful nu metal night, but one thing's for sure, we won when it came to the addition of Lorie Campbell in the franchise. That's it, guys, that is the list. Now, hotness is subjective, so there are plenty of amazing Friday the 13th women that could have and probably should have been on this list. But as they say in Jarhead, there are many like it, but this one is mine. So comment below, let us know who you would have added to the list for sure, and we will see you guys soon. Hopefully sooner rather than later. Hopefully we'll get another Friday the 13th movie before I'm dead. Have a good one.
Thank you for clicking on our video, everybody. If you like what you saw here, please make sure you like the video and subscribe and share with your friends who like this sort of content. JoBlo was created by movie fans for movie fans, and we appreciate your support.